Welcome back to Morbid Sunshine. I'm a little bit despondent and we're confused actually. I can't see where I'm up to. Did we get to the point where it mentions Ghislaine Maxwell? Where she was located at the time? I'm unsure now. But we'll start from there because I seem to remember that. If I was done this, it's really gone into it. I think, who is it? Who's done it? Whoever's wrote this knows there's more on that tape with Shannon. Okay, I'm going to sort of show you it sideways so people who... Oh, again, it does this every time I move it. It's what annoys me. Okay. See, it's pointing out where Ghislaine Maxwell was at the moment and where Shannon where the raid took place on a big huge elitist escort agency. Joseph Ruhr, the kebab house pimp. Now I've pointed this document out to you. You know which document it is. I have done that before. Excuse me. I'll have to put it sideways again. So let me do it. Lace Escort, New Brunswick, New Jersey. All these numbers. Adam Parsack, Harold, Escorts. Adam the record. August 2008. Park Press. 2009. I think it's establishing that this fella is a fella. I can't remember if I read this. Pimp from Jersey City Heights admits of laundering millions made through call girl services. Admits laundering millions through call girl services. Jersey City Heights man pleaded guilty yesterday of laundering more than $3 million a year. That he made provided by big spenders with prostitutes, drugs, and officials said. Put my glasses on, hang on, I'll be back in a second, people. Hudson County prosecutor says 44-year-old Joseph Ruhr of Jersey City made money through prostitution ring, and sometimes providing illegal drugs to clients. He faced up to 7 years in prison, sentenced 7th of September. Investigators found credit card bills as high as $20,000 for one session. When more than one prostitute and cocaine involved, they could come up to $100,000. Man admits to laundering money. Hudson County prosecutors said the 44-year-old made money through prostitution rings and sometimes providing illegal drugs. Blah blah. I'm just giving you the proof. Okay. Michael Pack, the driver. Shannon's driver has been previously convicted of human trafficking charge, conspiracy to misuse a passport. Shannon Gilbert can be heard accusing Michael Pack of plotting to kill her in the 911 call. Packers also wouldn't go on camera at all 48 hours. He drove around looking for Shannon for about an hour. He couldn't find her, he says, so he left. If you are the driver, you are responsible for the girl's transportation back home. You would think you'd give it a little more than an hour. At least wait until the police came to force them to start looking together to be able to find her, says Sachs. Michael Pack is another odd character in this strange story. He's a dog owner obsessed with his pet chihuahuas, dressing them up in YouTube videos. But Michael Pack is also a convicted felon, having served time in federal prison for conspiracy to misuse of a passport. Michael Pack and his own checkered history, Sachs explains, was arrested for bringing in Chinese lady to United States. Pack told 48 it had nothing to do with Shannon's disappearance and claimed he passed the polygraph with flying colours. Police would comment or deny. Oh, police deny that. No, wouldn't confirm or deny that. Why would she say she found her way back to the home? Do you know where you discussing how to get home? No, she was just trying to pressure me into going to the store to buy that stuff. Did you respond to anything she said in the conversation? Yeah, so I was like, what does that mean? Like she just wants me to leave now, or also I thought, oh, she's not going to pay me, so I came all that way out here for nothing. Sounds really realistically what could have happened. So I called her back, she didn't pick up. So I called Brewer, he didn't pick up, but his voicemail greeting told the man the number of another number, like 6341. So I thought that was his home number or something. So I called the number. That's how I found out that number, and I think that's when I found out his name, I think. He left his name on the greeting. On what greeting? His cell phone greeting, voicemail. How did you call his number in the first place? She gave me his number. She must have. I don't think... Was she a smoker ever? I don't think so. Were you? Yes. Did you smoke in the car with her while you were driving? I don't remember. All right, so she got mad, and how long would you say that conversation lasted, Michael? About a minute. Then she hung up on you? Yes. What happened? Then I called her, and then I called him, and then he called me back, and I said, it's okay, you don't have to get it. That's fine. Then what did you say to him? I said, oh, okay, cool. So I went back to reclining, and that's when I saw, soon after, they left. How did they leave? Tell me that. What's the first thing you saw? I saw the car pass me. Did you see them getting into the car? No. Did you see them coming out of the house? No. When you saw the car pass you, I mean, if the car had pulled in, the nose was facing inwards, wasn't it, towards the north? His driveway is big enough to turn around in there. Well, did you see him turn around? Maybe I heard it. It was so dark. There was no lights anywhere. Did you? The car didn't have its lights on. He must have turned around. Did you see him turn around? No, I wasn't looking. You didn't hear the car turn around. Okay. Joseph Brewer hired Shannon Gilbert to come to his house in the gated community of Oak Beach, New York, Long Ocean Parkway, in the middle of the night. Joe Brewer, John Brewer hired Shannon to come to his house, the gated community of Oak Beach in New York, Long Island Parkway, in the middle of the night. Again. Where's Shannon on this map? Doesn't make sense a little bit that. After Shannon Park arrived in Joseph Brewer's house, Shannon went inside and Michael Pack waited in the vehicle. Joe Brewer then told Michael Pack that Shannon was going to get something, and Shannon left Brewer's home with Brewer in his vehicle. Shannon's client claimed he never paid her because Shannon asked him about transvestites, and Brewer claims he thought she was a man. 2-level wooden home, 8th Fairway, a narrow paved street in Oak Beach, where Shannon started her night, near the front of the neighborhood, away from the Atlantic. Yes, she was in the house that I own. There is no doubt about it, said Brewer. 46-year-old West Islip native. Brewer and Gilbert to his home early hours in the morning. Through the internet for sexual encounter had never happened, he said. At first it probably appeared I had something to do with it. Who used to work in finance industry and is a young girl. I don't know what that means. Brewer told the Star Ledger last week he questioned her gender that night. Those close to Gilbert say that that's an outrageous suggestion, since she was wholly a woman. Brewer told the Star he questioned her gender that night. Those close to Shannon say it's wholly outrageous. But Brewer said Shannon asked him if he ever hired online escort for sex. Then he said she asked, "Have you ever come across transvestites?" He was turned off, he said. He just started to wonder if she was a man or at least part of a man. "I wanted her out," he said. Gilbert became upset since she saw things weren't going as she was hoped. She acted as in an erratic way, said Brewer. The driver, Michael Pack, was waiting in an SUV outside and got her into the car to take her home, he thought. But Gilbert took off on foot down Fairway about an hour before, according to neighbours' accounts. In the dark, she was running towards the gate. Ah, wow. Along Fairway, she would have passed wheat-coloured reeds about 8 foot high, rustling and blowing. Cool night could be soothing sound, but here in the community marked by dark shadows, it's not. The constant hissing makes the... In April 10, 2011, it was reported that a second man partied with Shannon on the night she disappeared. Police second man was partying and missing New York gal. Police said the second man had been partying with missing Craigslist sex worker Shannon the night she disappeared in Long Island Beach community. Serial killer suspected had buried his victims in New York Post. Police are not yet releasing the name of the 48-year-old man staying in Oak Beach summer home owned by businessman Joseph Brewer, and the man who hired Gilbert in May 2010 and who was also with her that night. According to the police, Gilbert fled from Brewer's home, located a few miles from where the bodies of 4 other girls were unearthed in December, telling one resident, "They're trying to kill me." Gilbert has been missing since. Brewer has repeatedly denied any involvement, saying only his prayers are with the families of the lady. Police confirm he is not a suspect. More on this. Police would not say if they have questioned the second man, the Post reports. His mum told the newspaper Friday his son had contacted her after Gilbert's disappearance, and she believes he is somewhere in Georgia. Murder included suspects that Brewer and Shannon left together. They went to purchase cocaine from the convicted cocaine dealer, pornographer, and Oak Beach resident Harry Feingold. Feingold, the coke dealer. Okay, very nice. It's not really... it's gonna get really annoying. Harry Feingold, the coke dealer. This January 2011 prediction by Bucky Turco naming Harry Feingold as a Long Island serial killer was retweeted back then by Harry Feingold's brother Mark Feingold. My prediction for who the Oak Beach killer is or was former drug dealer from West who recently died of a heart attack. Feingold was an Oak Beach resident who was sent to prison for selling cocaine. He was the West Islip like Joe Brewer, and Brewer's friend publicly suggested Feingold was the Long Island serial killer. Feingold led a drug dealing police and supplied thousands of customers. It was near dusk and on March 18, 1985, when Harry Feingold began driving his grey Riviera from luxurious home he had bought on Great South Bay in West Islip, a few miles south of the small house in which he had grown up. He was barely out of the driveway when the police car pulled behind him. Red light flashed in Feingold's rearview mirror. He began to pull over and suddenly floored the gas pedal. Detective came up an unmarked car and trying to block him, but Feingold drove onto the neighbour's lawn around Coletto. Half-dozen police cars have been staked out. Now they all began to chasing Feingold through the streets of West Islip. A marked car, Sergeant James Cavins, pursued him in North on Oak Neck Avenue upon Union Avenue. The chase roaring past red lights at twice the speed limit. Kevin saw him nearly hit children, cars, anything in his way. Finally, Feingold screeched to a halt on Myrtle Avenue and ran from his car. A bulky 29-year-old man in high boots. Wow. He tried scaling a fence but couldn't make it. He ran behind the camper parked in driveway and hid as Kevin's arrived. There he is, a man on the porch yelled, and Kevin made the arrest. What do you want from me? Feingold asked. The 3-mile chase ended in 5-year-long pursuit by the police. Harry Feingold was arrested in March. Broke up was prosecutors and was most extensive drug dealership ever uncovered in Suffolk County. A network that had distributed thousands of grams of cocaine to thousands of customers each week and had given Feingold a high school dropout a tax-free income estimated by the police at more than $1 million a year. Thousands of people at some point or another had some of Harry's coke. It found its way from Montauk to Manhattan, and Assistant Director Attorney Raymond Pirney, Chief of Suffolk Office Narcotics Department. There have been larger seizures, but nothing like this on a day-to-day basis over that long period. For 4 months, detectives had listened to virtually every phone call conversation conducted by Feingold and his brother Mark. Those conversations not only disclosed how Feingold had made drugs successful family business, but also demonstrated the way cocaine had become far many parts of everyday life, an opiate for the masses. Within hours, Harry captured the police, arrested his wife Joanne and his brother Mark, then 23, and Michael, then 28, on all charges that they had conspired to distribute cocaine. And in Florida, Feingold's father Ivan, a 57-year-old, was accused of being his son's supplier and was extradited to New York. Before spring's end, they said they and 26 others, including chiropractor, a Long Island Railroad engineer, a rock band manager, and a son of a local politician, will plead guilty to being involved in the operation. Harry Irving and Mark Van Gold would all be sentenced to terms in state of prison. Suffolk Narcotics Department, 5-year pursuit. Mark Van Gold, Harry's brother, sold only what was necessary to support his 1,000 a week habit. 3 sons of Van Gold also illustrates the frustrations experienced by the police in breaking up drug rings. At the end, it was arrested in a small-time cocaine user and later cooperation from a very unsuspected source that resulted in a guilty plea by all 31 defendants and the end of family business. They're not bad people, said Evelyn Feingold, Harry's grandmother, who lives West Islip with Michael, a minor figure in the case, who pleaded guilty to a reduced charge and was the only one of her sons not sentenced to state prison. Standing over the stove preparing chicken cutlets on a recent night, she talked about Harry, how 30, and Mark, why does everyone sell drugs? Greed. They were taking an easy way of making a living. What follows is an account of Harry Feingold. Some of his friends made a living. It is based on interviews and law enforcement authorities. Several of participants in the drug network, including members of Feingold's family and the people who have known the Feingold's sons, some are lesser figures in this ring, agreed to be interviewed on the condition that their names are not used. Harry Irving Feingold declined to be. 3 sons of the Brooklyn West. In 1965, when their eldest Harry was 10 and their youngest Mark was 3, it was a corner house in the standard suburban development in a few blocks south of Sunrise Highway. Irving Feingold had been in the Navy and later drove a cab, but soon after marrying and entered the catering trade of his father-in-law, he became specialized in the elaborate centerpiece. He could have a Viking ship made out of a watermelon. Irving's work often took him and his wife to hotels in Catskills, where he would cook and she would wait on tables. Sometimes the family traveled and worked together. In Florida, the boys would busk tables. All of us, till the day we die, we'll do things together, said Michael. Harry, who was always big for his age, loved sports. He was a marvellous pitching arm. His mother said he wasn't interested in academics. However, in 6 months, short of a graduation from Islip High School, he quit. When he was 15, a girlfriend moved with her family to California with Harry, 18, followed her and married her at Tijuana. and they returned to West Islip. He wasn't sure what to do, Michael said, so he figured the military was the best thing. Harry spent 2 years in the Navy in California and Far East. After leaving service, he bought delicatessen and employed his mother and 2 brothers. But like his marriage, which lasted nearly only a few years, the deli didn't work out. Mark Feingold, meanwhile, was struggling through high school in 1978, and his parents went to Florida for the winter to work and left Mark, a 10th grader, alone with Michael, just out of college. 2 years later, his parents would be divorced, and it was tough. Mark said in an interview, "If my father was around, I would have been more guidance." On Curtin Avenue, Mark was the best known of 3 brothers. He was the neighbours remembered who the loads of parties when his parents were away, and who was once caught siphoning gas from his neighbour's car. Harry was, for all the rebelliousness, has been responsible for self-directed difference of personalities. Blah, blah, blah. New show asks, can you be a porn star? Los Angeles, Harry Feingold lived in 57 Savannah Walk in Oak Beach, New York. But sold the property prior to 2010 murdering suspect. Feingold was in the area of Oak Beach or West Islip, where Feingold and Brewer were from, on the morning of the 1st of May 10th. Harry Feingold not only lived in Oak Beach, but he knew Joseph Brewer from West Islip. Harry's brother Mark Feingold owned the bar next to Joseph Brewer family liquor store. Okay. Harry's brother owned a bar, Harry Feingold sold his house in 58 Savannah Walk, Oak Beach, New York. Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone's Treasurer Robert Strickoff for double value in the possible money laundering scheme. Steve Ballone later appointed James Burke to Chief of Suffolk County Police Department. Looks a nice garden. I'll leave it here for now, and I will be back soon, and I'll finish this tomorrow. Love you, take care, subscribe, like, and stay with me. Good night, bye.